We are at the Jazz Cafe in London, and I am today extremely happy because I'm interviewing the management team. I'm here with John and Andrew. How are you doing?
Yeah, not bad.
Right.
Late in the day for an interview, but all good.
For people that actually are not from London, the Jazz Cafe is the venue to be in London. So this is why I'm so happy to be here tonight, just because it's an extreme honor for me. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about the history of the Jazz Cafe, because this year you're celebrating the 25th anniversary.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about the history.
Basically, we opened on the 1st of December 1990. Before that, it used to be a bank.
All right.
Which you could probably tell downstairs if you go look at the toilets. It's a little bit like a vault. So, and then it started in 1990, and Mean Fiddler, which is the company that then became Mama Group, took over in, I think it was 1996.
Right.
So it was run primarily just as a jazz venue, but kind of as times have changed, it's moved on, it's become a lot more diverse, and now we program everything from hip hop, stoner rock, the occasional bit of jazz, lots of soul and R&B, and basically just putting on anything that we think people want to come and see.
As we did say, it's 25th anniversary,
Yeah.
and especially in London, it's an extreme success because so many venues closes, and people get bored really easily of places. So, what do you think is the key to the longevity of this venue?
I think one of the things with this venue is with the lineups that we do, we're kind of continuously just regenerating and finding new ways to kind of promote the shows that we're doing. I was talking to somebody earlier today about how we've launched a series called These Are the Breaks, which is basically using the artists that we'd already promote, so your Roy Ayers, your average white bands, but promoting them to your kind of younger hip hop crowds, because a lot of hip hop music and a lot of new music samples all these old legends, and might not even know who it is. So we're trying to make those connections to kind of keep it fresh, and just keep reinventing ourselves, and hopefully try and kind of keep with the times as much as we possibly can.
What do you think is the element that makes the Jazz Cafe the most iconic one in London?
For me, it's probably the size of the artists we have compared to the size of the venue. I remember when I first came down here, I was expecting it to be a massive place.
Just to give me some numbers.
Well, the venue downstairs holds 420 people, and say for example, I think it was in 1996 we had D'Angelo here, who's just sold out 2 nights at Hammersmith Apollo. So you kind of read this wall of fame, as you like, and then you come in and go, wow, these artists actually played in this little venue. And it's just amazing, really. And I think people have got that thing in their head where when people want to play a small, intimate show, they'll naturally choose the Jazz Cafe because of its history, because of its reputation. So we get some pretty big acts in for a little venue in Camden.
Do you want to give me some names? I've been here for many gigs, but...
Across the board, like we've done, Shuggy Otis has played here, Bobby Womack's played here, Eric Benet came and did 3 nights a couple of years ago. We even got David Gray doing a solo piano show the Sunday after next. So these are guys who normally play like 15,000-20,000 people when they're in London, and they're coming downstairs to play for us. And I think there's probably not many other venues where you can get actually that up close and personal to the artist. I think it puts us in a really unique position.
Actually, I noticed myself from my experience coming here, a lot of artists, especially Americans, they consider the Jazz Cafe the home away from home, in a sense that they come year after year in manage. And what do you think is the key element to build this relationship with these artists so they can come back the year after?
I think they just really enjoy the intimacy of it. I think that's a big thing. Like, there's so many shows these days, bigger venues where they'll put 3 or 4 acts on, and a lot of it'll be kind of a live PA without a band. And we kind of have a policy where if you're going to come play the Jazz Cafe, you can't just play to a track. You've got to have a band. So a lot of these artists will be going and doing all these shows, and then it's almost like proper music again. So they might not have done a gig with a band for a year. They come to the Jazz Cafe, we'll hook them up with a London band. The London band then becomes friends with the artist, and it's kind of just like, it's like a big little family almost.
I had this conversation with John B when he came recently,
Yeah.
and he said exactly the same thing. The family. That's why he wants to come back. And every time he's in Europe and every time he's in the UK, he obviously goes to bigger venue for different shows. But this is the one that he absolutely loves.
Yeah.
Keen to the Family Soul, absolutely the same thing.
And it's quite nice because what you get a lot of them when they're in town. If they're in town for another show, or if they're over here recording, you'll get an email or you'll get a phone call, just being like, "Hey, we're in town. What have you got on tonight? Can we come down?" So we'll kind of have a few drinks with them, have a meal with them in the restaurant, and it's that kind of thing. It's a kind of, you'll see everybody once a year, and it's kind of, what you've been up to, how's it been? It's just really nice.
Definitely. Andrew, a question for you actually. As you mentioned before, the Jazz Cafe hosts live events of different kind of music. Tell me a little bit more about the policy of picking exactly so many different genres of music versus some other clubs or venues in London that specialise in one particular kind of music.
I think we just want to be open every night. We want to have people coming in as often as we possibly can. So if we can get a reggae act on Monday and then a hip hop act on Tuesday and maybe a soul act on Thursday, then we could be open every night. If we can have more people coming through the venue, for us it's just much better really. So we're just intrigued to get new interesting people through, as well as the people that we've had for the past 25 years.
And as we just mentioned, 25th anniversary this year, 2015.
Yeah.
And the lineup is absolutely incredible. So tell me more about the calendar for 2015.
We were thinking about it for ages, how we wanted to do it and whether or not we just did like one big party, and then we decided that we've got that many people to invite, we wouldn't be able to fit them all in. So we've kind of gone with two strands. So we're doing what we're calling like the Legend series, which is like Roy Ayers, Jocelyn Brown, hopefully Incognito later, people that have worked with us for years, Grandmaster Flash. And then what we're also doing is looking ahead to the next 25 years with the Future Legends series. So we've just done a first London show with the Kuru Naru, who's going to be massive. We've got Jared Lawson coming and doing 2 sold out shows in April. So in that sense, just using it as a real opportunity to look to the next 25 years. And then hopefully there's plans afoot for a kind of birthday party in October as a special thank you to everyone that's supported us. But we're still working on a few things. Let's have to keep that one under my hat for now.
Okay.
We'll have to kill you after we tell you.
My last question to you. The Jazz Cafe is not only a venue for live music events. You kind of host talent shows as well. You do special nights like the hip hop versus R&B one. You do 80s and 90s. So tell me more about those special events.
We do all sorts. I mean, we have like hip hop karaoke. You come back. They're a really good one because I think they're the first guys that did it in London, where you'll have someone on stage who's just had a few drinks and they fancy doing 8 Mile by Eminem or something like that. It's just a little bit different to your average like a karaoke night. You don't have to hit any notes if you're singing rap, so it's a little bit easier if you're a bit drunk. What else we've got? Who's Got the Hits that we've got coming up on Tuesday, which is one where they'll have loads of people submitting videos of themselves to a website, and then they get the chance to come on stage with a house band and do a song or two, and there'll be special guests, like we had Big Brothers last time, and it's just a chance for people to come up and play on the Jazz Cafe stage and hopefully then get picked up. So maybe some of the guys that we had playing last time are now going to be doing a few support slots for us with some bigger artists, and we're trying to kind of mix it up a little bit like that.
Definitely. So absolutely looking forward to the rest of the year here at the Jazz Cafe.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for this opportunity. It's been fantastic to get to know you a little bit better in the venue, and good luck with everything.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Log on to EmpireRadioMagazine.com for the latest news in arts, culture, and entertainment. Empire Radio Magazine. Think global, not local.